Hi, this is your host Jessie and welcome to a new episode of Marketing Talks by OSB. Today I have with me Mrs. Mariella Abdo. Hello Mariella.
Hello,
Thanks
hi,
for
Jessie.
joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're most welcome. And today I'm so excited about our topic, which is the advertising and PR agency life. Our community and our audience will get to know today how does it work from behind the scenes, how do you run, and so forth. But I would like to say that you are the Deputy General Manager at Memac Ogilvy. And Ogilvy is an award-winning integrated creative network that makes brands matter in a complex, noisy, and hyper-connected world for Fortune Global 500 companies, as well as local businesses across 132 offices in 85 countries. In the Middle East, the company is known as Memac Ogilvy, and it is the region's #1 creative partner and platform for economic, cultural, and social growth. And the 6 core capabilities that you offer or that you provide are the brand strategy, advertising, customer engagement and commerce, PR and influence, digital transformation, and partnership. That's amazing. How do you do all of this?
Well, it's simple, but not that simple. We do it we do it in a kind of intersection between people, between disciplines. So we work in an integrated way. There's no PR, there's no advertising alone. It's communication at the end of the day. And when anyone came to Ogilvy, it's about providing the best communication platform, regardless of the resources or the capabilities.
Nice. Mariella, you are a seasoned communication practitioner with over 15 years of experience, and this is why I wanted you to be with us to tell us the behind the scenes of an agency life. You led successfully most of Beirut clients at Memac Ogilvy, making sure to integrate all Ogilvy's offerings smoothly, helping people around you to think the same. This has helped growing the office's portfolio organically and winning several new businesses, and I think also a lot of awards, right?
Yes.
Let's start by, let me ask you first, how do you brainstorm for a creative idea that could lead to win an award?
Brainstorming, it's very simple, yet not all people know how to brainstorm. Definitely, brainstorming requires a lot of different components. One, you need to set the stage for it. So you need to book a room where people will be sitting comfortably, will be talking freely, without any judgment. That's really crucial.
Okay.
Second, you need to definitely set the objectives of the meeting, because when people will, come together, they need to know why are they here. What do they need to solve? So this is another component, an important component of brainstorming. Third, you need to set the time, because you cannot keep it open.
Yes.
It needs to be limited in time. One, it will pressure the people to come up with ideas, and it will make your brainstorming session more concise.
Yes.
The fourth step is to actually allow everyone to give his or her opinion. So it's not a matter of seniority, it's not a matter of who knows better, because the most brilliant ideas can come from interns.
Yeah.
So you need to let people brainstorm without any judgment, without saying no. So it's a big no to say no in a brainstorming session. You need just to keep the ideas going, and then after that you need to structure them. Based on this structure, this is where you will be kind of filtering the ideas that have potential and the ideas that don't really have potential.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, you need to encourage everyone to be part of this process. Everyone needs to be curious enough to know more, to brainstorm, to give ideas more, because this is what gives this brainstorming session its effect.
And during the session, the client is not with you, right?
You can do it both ways. If the client asks to be part of the, of the brainstorming process, there is no, objection. At the contrary, they're most welcome, because through this brainstorming session, we would be able to actually know what he or she really wants. But definitely afterwards, we need to reconvene internally and continue our brainstorming session.
Yes. And listen, when we were preparing this episode together, I told you marketing agency. You said no, we are more narrow into PR and advertising. Can you tell me a bit of maybe a small, not definition as much as elements that could differentiate each one of those? Because I know everything falls under marketing, but let's...
Advertising as a marketing tool. It's one of the marketing tools. So if we want to put it in a simple way, marketing consists of, market research. It could consist of pricing strategy, customer behavior, customer journey, different advertising, public relations. So advertising specifically is one component. It's a tool. Basically, it's a paid tool because everything that is related to advertising is paid.
Yes.
And it consists of key messaging, attractive messaging package in a nice, creative way to allow people to be convinced and eventually convert them into sales or into getting into your brand. So definitely it relates to the objective of the advertising campaign that you're doing.
Okay, and PR?
PR is different. PR is basically about brand or reputation or client reputation or even a company's reputation. PR is a vast discipline. It's not only about press office as everyone knows it. So it's not only press releases, press conference. Definitely, it's part of it, it's a very important component of PR. But it's about brand reputation, crisis management, employee engagement, internal communication. So it's a very vast, discipline. And if you want, like, in a 1 or 2 lines to differentiate advertising from PR,
yes.
Advertising is when you say, I am beautiful.
Yes.
PR is when you ask other people to say that you're beautiful. Put it in a simple way. So basically advertising, it's, as I said before, it's about paid, exactly, yes. Whereas PR is more about earned media, earned influence. So you let people, journalists, different stakeholders talk about you without, any
effort from your side.
Any effort from your side.
This is also called organic, no?
Yeah, yes. But it's a tricky a bit because in advertising, you dictate the messages that you want to convey.
Correct.
Whereas in PR, you cannot dictate it.
You have to, okay.
So you need to be very careful on how you convey the messages because at the end of the day, it's not you,
controlled by you
who's talking. It's other people, journalists, government, maybe different people.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, and who are the key players in your agency or any other similar agency?
Definitely the agency's key players are common, yet they differ from an agency to another depending on the size. But the crucial departments, let's say, that needs to be there.
Yes.
You have the client servicing department. It has the client, the account manager, the account executive, the account director, the business director. Those are the people who would be in direct contact with the client, who would take the briefs. Definitely the senior level would kind of challenge the brief and to, strategically, business-wise, they would better understand the brief, the ask. And then after that, they would convey it to the creative department. The creative department, it encloses different stakeholders. Definitely, you need to start by the creative director, who would set the overall creative direction. And this creative director has different people who would help him with the work. You have art directors, graphic designers, animators, content creators. So you have different copywriters, English, Arabic, French, depending on the clients that you have. You also have the PR department headed by the head of PR, with journalist copywriters. So the difference between creative copywriting and journalist copywriting is they're similar, but part of it is focused on the creative part. The others, it's more of journalism and
when we say
serious
creative,
copywriting.
It means convincing and selling, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And you have the social media department with the head of social media and the account managers, the community management, etc.
Wow. So is this a team of 50, let's say? You are 50?
It can be a team of 50, 60. It can be a team of 20, depending on the agency's size. And definitely there is the finance department.
Of course.
We cannot
We
forget
need
the finance.
to run. Listen, I have a question.
Yeah.
You said copywriters, but now we've seen a lot of AI tools that are already writing the text, the captions, the emails, the articles. Are you using AI?
That's a very interesting question. Yes, we are definitely using AI. At the end of the day, you need to keep going. You need to adapt to the changes.
Yes.
And we cannot disregard that we have the AI, and unfortunately AI might replace some talents. I'm not saying that they will replace the copywriters, but what differentiates us from AI, us people from AI, is our knowledge and our human touch.
Okay.
So even if we are using AI, it would be us giving an order to AI to kind of set the narrative.
Yes.
So we don't say no, complete rejection for AI, but definitely it shouldn't be kind of a one way of doing things. So it's us giving the AI orders.
Let's just say it's helping, it's facilitating, it's saving time.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Okay, good.
Definitely, yes.
And the thing is, how do you find talents to join your agency? I mean, it's all about creativity.
Of course not. We at Ogilvy, we really focus on the talent's character and willingness. Okay. For instance, whenever we are recruiting fresh grads, we don't recruit based on a resume only. Okay. We usually ask people to get an internship with us, and the internship should not be less than 2 months, because this is where they will be learning, and we will be definitely benefiting from them and assessing their performance. And based on the experience with them, we kind of select the best and the most brilliant people to actually join our family at Ogilvy.
So by character, you want someone flexible? You want someone
we want someone who has the will to learn, will to learn, with definitely a nice character, with a passion for creativity, a passion to better understand people's behavior, people's needs, because in the creative industry you need to be very well, let's say, alerted. You need to have kind of social intelligence to better understand your client first, your team second. So yeah, it's a combination of different elements.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the trends. A lot of things are evolving, whether on specific social media platforms or for a specific generation. How do you keep up with the trends? Because I believe for certain brands that you work, you might need to go with the flow in their industry or in their target segment.
Definitely. And actually you reminded me, I missed a very important department in the agency, which is the strategic planning department.
Okay.
So we have planners who are responsible to share trends with the different teams. And definitely the client lead, or the one who's, let's say we have a telco client, the client lead is responsible to keep him or herself, updated with all the latest trends. The creative director also is responsible to share all creative trends, award-winning campaigns. So it's an ongoing process. It's not just something that you need to do. It's something that you have to do to keep learning and growing in this industry.
Okay. Listen, how many days or weeks does it take to create a creative campaign?
It depends. Sometimes you have a brief, then you need to answer for it like the next day. Definitely this is not feasible, but we are a very intense industry, let's say. We work under pressure a lot.
Okay.
Ultimately, a good campaign, because you have different sizes of campaigns. You have small, medium, and big ticket campaigns.
Yeah.
But let's say for a big ticket campaign, you can easily take 3 to 4 weeks. For small campaigns, it can be like in a week time. Sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on the brief.
When you say big ticket, are we talking about the budget, or are we talking about the impact? Or
yes, you can say it can. A big ticket is definitely, it requires a bigger budget, and the channels that you are using are basically much more. For instance,
okay.
you have TV campaigns, so you need to produce a TVC. You have different kind of social media channels, PR, internal comms. So it's very wide.
Okay, nice. And what about the students once they graduate and they study advertising and marketing? Do you recommend them to do an internship first before anything else, or because sometimes some of them are so ambitious, they would say, "I want to open up my own agency." Shall we give them an advice? From
Look, there is no right or
person
wrong.
like you?
There's no wrong or right answer, honestly. It's highly recommended for a person to be to have this entrepreneurship spirit.
Yes.
But out of experience, I think it's very important to get the gist of the advertising life. You need to because theory is very different, than the practice.
Yes.
It's very different. When you intern or you have like even few years of experience in an ad agency, it will give you a lot of benefits. One, you will better understand the process inside the agency.
Okay.
Two, you will build connections that you will eventually benefit from in the future. They can be potential clients, they can be potential colleagues or employees.
Yes.
So we highly encourage experience, but at the end of the day, it's the person's choice. But definitely internship or experience, even if it's a few, if it's few years of experience in an ad agency, it would give this person a push to start on a more solid ground.
Okay, and if it's an internship, 2 months would be enough?
It's recommended, yes, definitely 2 months. It can be extended to 6 months if this person is willing to continue, and we are willing to accept him or her, because we have a lot of requests for people to join our team as interns.
And do you really give them the tools and do you allow them to do things on their own, or they're gonna go and watch?
No, of course not. Actually, allow me to give you a bit of a sneak peek to what's happening now.
Yes.
After the Red Academy, there are like people who won, and they won an internship at our agency.
Yes.
For this, we have assigned a person who is responsible of those interns. So he would give them tasks, and they are, they are part of different departments. So during their 2 months internship, they would experience advertising, the advertising discipline,
they
and
job rotate, you mean?
they will be rotating and jumping
nice.
from a discipline to another, and they would be learning. So we take internship very seriously at Ogilvy.
Nice. That's really an amazing opportunity for those who are just starting their career.
And it's an opportunity for them to know what do they really like.
If exactly this is what they wanted or
exactly.
know. Amazing. Mariella, now that you cover 2 countries, Lebanon and Iraq, is the process here, or let's say the way you do things in Lebanon, different than another country in general, or specifically in Iraq?
I wouldn't say so. It's not different, but it can differ from a client to another. So that's why both markets, they're definitely in Lebanon, it's a more mature market in terms of communication, advertising, but Iraq is picking up really quickly.
Yeah.
So the process is the same, but you need to adapt to what the client wants and how he would appreciate your solution, whether from a strategic point of view or from a creative point of view. So this is what differs. It's the people behind the account, not the market in general.
And don't you usually hire someone who is local there to help you understand maybe a little bit their culture?
Definitely.
Because I think in communication you have to speak the language of the consumers where they are. So do you hire local talent sometimes for specific campaigns?
Definitely, it's highly advisable to have local talents, because all communication should be localized and should talk to the people, to the people. You should talk their language, their slangs. So sometimes Lebanese people don't really understand. You have different terms, even you have different terms that Lebanese might not get it. So that's why we do have local local talents, for instance, in Era, mostly creative and copywriters, who would help us better understand the culture, and they would be a crucial part of our team. So it's not like they're separate members from Memac Ogilvy Beirut. They're part of our bigger family.
Nice. Nice. So you're mixing somehow the experience you have here with local talents to help you understand the culture there.
Exactly.
And in the mission of Memac Ogilvy, you sent me that the mission is to inspire brands and people to impact the world. Can really advertising do that?
It should do that, because when you're in advertising, you should have this sense of responsibility, because there are many people children even, who would be watching your advertisement. So, and this is what differentiates us at Ogilvy. We really look for ideas that would change the world. It's not just about creativity, and it's not just about business. Definitely, it's very important to hit both points. But what matters mostly is to talk to the people to better understand the real insight, the real challenge that we are solving, and give the solutions through our communication and advertising.
So your goal is not just the business goal of, let's say, whether reaching brand awareness or increasing sales. So you always put the consumers in mind in front of you, because they are the audience listening and looking at what you're doing, right?
Exactly, and we have many examples that would actually demonstrate that this is true. We have.
Can you give us some examples?
Yes, we have the King Khalid Foundation in Saudi. It's a campaign that actually managed to change the government's opinion about violence against women.
Oh.
So it started as a campaign, and actually PR had making it kind of a big problem within the country. People are hitting their wives, their daughters, and this created a big
movement.
A big movement into the Saudi Arabian government, and actually it led to change this, to have a decree that would actually penalize this violence against women.
That's nice. That's very nice. And let's conclude with some tips and tricks from behind the scenes to our maybe students who just graduated and they're considering joining an agency.
Well, I can give a lot of tips and tricks. One, you need to be curious. You need to be very curious.
Yes.
You shouldn't settle for your job description. Definitely, you need to have a clear job description, and you should be abiding by it. But be open. Be open to learn, be open to understand different disciplines, different people. Most importantly, be open to work flexibly, in a flexible way, because advertising is a bit demanding. So it's not just a 9-to-5 job. It requires.
By flexible, you mean extra?
Sometimes it requires like extra hours, overnights to crack the idea, to crack the campaign. But actually, this is the fun part of our business.
Yes.
So, and at the end, I would advise them to follow their passion. Really, they need to follow their passion, because if you're working in any job and you're not passionate about, you wouldn't excel.
Nice. And listen, once you launch the campaign, you sit and you wait for the results.
Yeah, actually, we have kind of.
You would be excited, I think, to tap the results in the market. No?
Definitely, we have actually a team who would be monitoring, and giving reports on the campaign's performance. And this is where we can also optimize, where it's coming short, where we can do better.
Nice.
So definitely, it's an exciting process, especially when you can see your campaign, live on TV, on billboards, people talking about it. So it's really exciting.
I did this. We did this.
Exactly.
That's nice. Mariella, like we said, you have 15 years of experience in this field, and yes. I cannot tell you how much we are thankful for you joining us today and giving us all those tips and tricks and behind the scenes info. Thanks once again, and thanks for watching and listening, and see you in the next episode of Marketing Talks by OSB.